Hey everybody, Quilting Marine here. Welcome back to my channel. When last we left off, we completed our quilt top with our pinwheels. Okay, so what we want to do is it's kind of a small quilt top a little bit, but I want to make it a little larger. Okay, I didn't want to leave it as medium. So one of the ways that you can make it larger or make it into a medium is to add borders to it. All right, they're just fine like this. I mean, there's no rules to this. Okay, you're just as good, binding this just like it is. Okay, but I want to add a border, and I want to show you how to put a border on so that you know how to do it in your own way and in your own fashion and with your own colors and stuff. So the first thing we want to do is get one of these. All right, measuring tape. This thing is awesome. All right, I love this thing, and soon as they make one with lasers and little guys that jump out and pull the tape out for you on their own, I'm getting it. But this is a great tool. And I know everyone who's quilting for 900 years is like, this guy's fascinated at measuring tape. Yes, this thing is great. I love it. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna measure it, okay? So we know what we're gonna cut. So I'm gonna get my measurement here, 44 inches. Now, okay, sometimes your quilt top may not measure out square all the way around. You may have to trim, okay? We'll cover that. But just because I'm 44 here doesn't mean that I'll be 44 up here, okay? We want to get a general measurement so that we get good cuts on our borders, okay? Because I am at 44 here. Well, actually 44 and a half. But if I go up here, I'm almost at 46. All right, don't worry, don't stress it out. Okay, well, all it takes is just some squaring off. We'll square off the quilt, and you'll be even all the way around. Okay, and then we'll measure here. I'm at 30 and a half. Okay, so that's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cut 3-inch border pieces, and the best way to do borders, okay, is I would usually go with something more masculine, like a black and white something to match this. But I want to add color, and I want you to see the contrast in the border and my quilt top. So there's no better contrast than dog heads. This is a great, great pattern right here. I love this, okay? And this is what we're going to use to border our pinwheel quilt with, okay? And guess where this came from? Yep, she's shaking her head. Yeah, the Goodwill. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna put this on the table. We're gonna cut 3-inch border strips. Okay, and we're gonna cut them to length, and then we're gonna attach them. All right. So next scene is gonna be cutting our 3-inch. Now don't just go with 3 inches. You can go with 4. You can go with 5. This is your quilt. All right, quilt. Cut the borders in the length that you want or the width that you want, okay? Because after we put our borders on, the next thing would be, the next thing attaching to the top would be the bind, okay? But all right, we're gonna go cut some doggy heads, all right? Okay, so we made it to our self-healing mat. All right, we got our dog heads, okay, and we're gonna cut our 3-inch border pieces. Now remember, you don't have to do 3-inch. You could do a 4-inch. You can do a 6-inch. It's up to you and how you want to size it. Okay. So you might have noticed. Okay, I have a fold in my material, and the reason why I fold my material over is because I have a 36 by 48. I'm sorry, 24 by 36 self-healing mat, and I only have so much space. Okay. If I had a bigger mat, then I can unfold it more and then, get longer cuts. I had to get a longer ruler, of course, but, that's why it's folded, okay? So if you're folding your material, don't forget, these folds could push you off. So you have to have a good stationary hold on your ruler, okay? So we're going to line up on this 26-inch line, okay? We're lined up. I'm going to count over 3 inches. 1, 2, 23 line, okay? I'm going to make sure I'm aligned on both ends, okay? All right, so get your rotary cutter. We're going to make a cut, all right? We're going to put the guard down on the rotary cutter. All right, be careful, all right? I haven't seen a quilt yet made out of digits, Let's not be the first person who does that. Okay? Digits out of the way. Rotary cutter down. All right? And straight across. Just like that. Nice smooth cut. You have your 3-inch borders. Remember, when you're cutting your borders, when you measure your quilt top for your borders, you want to go a little longer, okay? So that, you know, you don't come up short, and all you got to do is trim the edges, okay? You want to go like a couple of inches, maybe longer than your actual measurement. Come cut your strips, and you are ready, all right? I've already got some pre-cuts done, so that's why I only cut once, okay? Oh, yeah, that's the saying, right? Measure twice, cut once. Yeah. Go with that. All right, so we're back. We have a quilt top down, okay? So we're going to attach our borders to our quilt top. Now, the way we measured, remember, we're doing a 3-inch border, okay? So with 3 inches, if I was to put the 3-inch border on here, what's that going to do? It's going to make my width wider. So remember, you have to get that 6 inches. You have to add that 6 inches to the total that you measure, because you're going to have 3 here, and you're going to have another 3 at the bottom, which makes your total, you're adding 6 inches to your total length, okay? So you have to remember that, all right? I've done that so many times. That's why I'm able to do scrappy quilts so often, because I've made those mistakes, okay? We want to minimize the mistakes you're making so that you can utilize your fabric to its potential, okay? So across the top, I went across the top first. Now it's up to you too, because going across the top, this is the look that I will have when I finish stitching across the top. All right, this will be the finished product. When I stitch it, this will be the finished product, and then we'll do the sides. And when we stitch the sides, because remember, I accounted for this 3 inches, that's what the side would look like, meeting the top. Okay, now it's totally okay for you to go this way as well, all right? There are no rules. You can go long and then short on the sides, okay? Just remember, if you're going long like this, you got to do the short side first. You should do the short side first, so it's easier for you to stitch this way. So when you lay your fabric down, it's easier for you to go that way, okay? If you stitch this way, you're going to cause yourself unnecessary headaches. It can be done. It can be done, all right? But don't do it, okay? For us beginners, we want to keep it easy. Keep it simple, okay? Like they used to say to us in the Marine Corps, KISS. Keep it simple, stupid, okay? That's what we're going to do. We want to keep it really easy, all right? So I'm going to make it easy on myself, all right? And I'm going to stitch the top first, okay? I didn't show you the top first because I have so much to show you, and it won't all fit on the picture, okay? So when we come back, what you'll see is I'll have the top done. I'll do the top, and then I'll show you how I'm going to attach the side, all right? Remember, when you go in, right side's facing, okay? Let's not put any miles on our seam ripper. Right side's facing. And you can pin, all right? You can pin as well. But I'm not going to pin. I'm not going to show you the pinning because you know how to do it. I showed it to you in a previous video, okay? I'll pin this, and then I'll sew it, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so we have our dog head strips attached, okay? Remember, we went across the top, went the lengthwise. Now look at this. See this corner right here? You see how it's kind of short? All right, it's better to be long than short. So when you do your measurements, I usually measure over an inch, all right? For all kind of purposes, but I didn't here because I want you to see that. I want you to see what happens when you don't measure long. You're going to come up short, all right? Let's try not to do that because it's really hard to adjust after that. All right, I didn't intentionally come up this short. I just wanted to show you what it looks like when you come up short. Go long because we can trim later. When you go long, when you connect your corners, this is what it will look like. That's okay, because we can all we're gonna do is trim this part off. Okay, so what we do is when we go long like that, we want to make sure we get a straight edge. See my line, my measuring line right here. All right, and then I'm just gonna make sure I'm straight on it, and then I'm just gonna knock off that part right there. I'm gonna get my ruler. Make sure I'm on that line as well. Make sure we're straight, and then remember, rotary cutter, be safe, okay? All right, so we're just gonna knock that part off. I'm gonna be on the edge, on the straight edge of the ruler and that fabric along the line, okay? All right, so we've got our strip across the top, all right? So I'm just gonna do the other sides, but for right now, this is what I was talking about when you had my 3 inches, okay? This was my 3 inches, but remember, with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, okay? It's gonna be 2 3/4 inches after you sew it, all right? So here we go. 1/4 inch seam allowance, all right? The right side's facing. We're just gonna attach this strip to this side. Now we've matched up our corners, as you can see. All right, 1/4 inch seam allowance. Remember. Now remember when I said you need to go a little bit longer so that you don't come up short. Okay, and I went long just so I could show you what it will look like when you add maybe 1 inch to your original measurement, 1.5 inches to your original measurement. Just to be safe, on the safe side, all right? Better to be longer in your cut than short. Because then if you're short, you gotta either attach 2 strips together, which we will cover, and to extend it, or you have to recut, which is wasting fabric, okay? So here's what that long cut looks like. You see that? That's the long cut. Now I did that on purpose so I can show you how I'm gonna square it up. So I'm gonna put it on the line. I wanna make sure that I'm straight on the line on my self-healing mat. And then on that line, I'm gonna put my ruler down. Okay? Now, rotary cutter. We're on the line. Be safe. Cutter guard off. We have a nice clean cut on our corner. Now we have a border. All right, so we moved this thing from medium to semi-medium, I guess. Now don't be shy. You can, even if you weren't happy with the border you put on, you can add another border. I've seen them with multi borders. You can actually probably have your own pattern in all borders. All right? It's your program, your quilt, your style. Don't be shy. All right? There are no mistakes in quilting. Your mistakes, someone will love. All right? Next, we're going to be covering, hopefully you got a chance to go look at some batting, because that's what's next. And what we'll do is we'll cover my my underside or backing for my quilt, the backing that I selected. All right, we're gonna go with a regular cotton fabric backing, but I usually don't use that. I like to use it's the soft stuff. I like the soft stuff. Well, I like that soft, that stuff because, you know, when I give my quilts away, people like to use them. You know, I don't use the cotton fabric patterned backings because, you know, I don't know. I guess because that's for hanging on the wall, and I don't see my quilts hanging on the wall. I just don't. I like people to like throw my quilts around and use them, get them dirty, wash them, use them. Hey, Game of Thrones, winter is coming. Okay, so I like my quilts to be used. All right, so thanks for watching. I appreciate the subscribers. Please subscribe. And remember, it's only fabric and it's only thread.